Hello and welcome back to Campfire Horror Stories. Now, last week we skipped our reading, and I know you may not be able to forgive us for that, but I'm going to try to make it up for you and give you a pretty spooky story today for this third Monday of October. And this is the 19th of October, so we have about one more Monday after this Monday. So yeah, and then we have Halloween, which I may do something crazy for. So yeah, let's get right into this next spooky tale. This story comes from Anonymous Pete on Reddit. True home invasion story. I'll start off by saying that I am a 21-year-old male from upstate New York. When I returned home from college for summer break last year, my parents informed me that they would be visiting relatives in Edmonton, Canada, during the second week of July. I wanted to go with them, but they told me they made plans at the last minute and the plane tickets were quite expensive at the time. Therefore, I would need to stay in my house, all by myself, while they were away. Although I was disappointed about not going to Canada, I was quite content with having the house to myself. I spent most of the time watching television, playing video games, and hanging out with friends. I returned home from a friend's house late one night. After pulling into my driveway, I decided to smoke a cigarette outside and maybe take a short walk around the neighborhood before going back into my house. I walked to the end of my driveway and started smoking. I quickly noticed that several lights were on upstairs. I found this odd, as I distinctly remembered that none of the lights were on when I left the house. As I looked up the upstairs window outside my house, I saw a shadow, which appeared to be moving in my parents' bedroom. It was clear that someone was in my house. My heart started racing and I started panicking. I immediately dialed 911 and told the operator that there was an intruder in my house. The operator gathered all my information and told me to stay calm as help was on the way. I kept my eyes locked on the moving shadow. I felt quite relieved once the two cops arrived at my house. Wow, this is a really bad story. And that concludes story number 1. Now, story number 2 is insane, crazy, and it's gonna be actually good, unlike that last awful one. So let's get right into it. This one comes from blank instant messaging. It all started on the 14th night of March, the night of my parents' 20th wedding anniversary. It was a wonderful sunny day, if memory serves, surprisingly warm for before the beginning of spring. The beautiful weather was perfect for the atmosphere of the day. Being married for 20 years is obviously a momentous occasion, so my parents had booked a table at our favorite Italian restaurant. Of course, this was a formal occasion, so I had my best suit on. It was 5:33, and I was just straightening my tie when my phone went off. I'd received a message. That's strange, I thought. It never happens. I checked the message. It was from my mom. It was quite a jumble of numbers and letters, but through the vocabulary stew, I could make out the legitimate phrase, "Help me." It should go without saying that this worried me greatly, so I immediately replied, "Are you okay?" Just as instantly, I got another text which read, "Oops, pocket text." I signed with all the relief I had and continued to prepare myself. A few minutes later, I received yet another message, this time from my dad. I checked the text, and once again it was a massive mixture of letters and numbers with the phrase, "Please help me," concealed within. Creepy though this was, my dad was always a joker, so I presumed he was joking around, until I was sent another text saying, "Oops, pocket text." Now this sparked panic, pure, unmistakable panic. Exactly half a minute passed when I received the exact same message from my sister. This could not be coincidental, it just couldn't. In a state of sheer anxiety, I started to run to the restaurant. I made it about a quarter of the way before I was stopped by a police officer. "Main road's closed," he said. "Huge car crash." This was the exact moment I realized what had just happened. I demanded to see the wreckage, a request I'm surprised was allowed. When I got there, it wasn't the remnants of the car that caught my eye, not the flames billowing from the destroyed vehicle. No. I was horrified to see the lifeless corpses of my mother, father, and sister. I asked for the estimated time of their deaths. All three of them were killed instantly by the collision at 5:32. And that concludes this episode of Campfire Horror Stories. Let me know if you also agree with me in the fact that that first one was pretty lame and stupid. And yeah, if this second one thoroughly scared or shook you to the core, let me know as well in the comments. And yeah, I will try to keep uploading like crazy. Thank you for 2.3 thousand views on the Mario Judah Mega Sped thing. That's pretty cool. So yeah, see you next time on Campfire Horror Stories.